Facebook and YouTube. Bro Sanchez speaking. I want to hop right into this thing today. We cannot believe anything from the higher ups and the people in power. We can't believe any of the thing they taught us in their school system and all of the bogus history that we've been given. Most of us know that by now, but there are some very powerful tricks and deceptions in the conscious community where we end up still accepting ideologies from the same evil people, even in the conscious communities, and we think we're free from them. On my channel, I try to show y'all the grand deception. Now, what I want to say is that when you really grasp the cold and evil nature of the people in power, then you will begin to re-question everything that you have been taught since a child. The movie The Matrix is a very symbolic movie, and I love the movie because Neo represents what every human should be. Neo represents everyone. That's why if you flip the letters Neo around, you get the letter 1. Okay, Neo represents each and every one under the sound of my voice. You should be re-questioning your reality. That's what led Neo out of the Matrix. In this video, we taking one more step in doing that. So understand that you cannot have a heart to think on the type level of the people that we have in power. Understand that the whole world is controlled by the same power, and the idea of different nations and all of that is an illusion. The idea of races are an illusion. As I stated in previous videos, the higher up you get to the top, you realize that it is a global effort involved in keeping humanity in the state that it's in. So keeping in mind that the people who are in power, who are planning the fates of our children, are the most evil kind of people you can fathom. With that in mind, I want y'all to understand these quotes that you're about to hear and open up your mind to the deception. In order for grand deception to succeed, it must be habitual and uninterrupted. I want you guys to ponder deeply on that, okay? And think about those cold and evil people that is in power. And think about the state of humanity and how we've been ruled through media propaganda and through fear, through bogus belief systems and ideologies that are interwoven into the sciences, into the religious books, into theories that we've all become to accept as facts in our reality. When you understand the art of war, you will understand that the real war is won without using any force. So when you understand the grand deception and the art of war, it is to be so subtle that you are invisible. It is to be so mysterious that you are intangible. Then you will control your rival's fate. Ponder deeply on that. Now, that's a quote from Sun Tzu. This is from the Art of War, people. So think about the first line, be so subtle that you are invisible. Notice how we speak of the elite. Notice how the people at the bottom speak of the elite. We refer to them in this mysterious type manner. We always refer to them as they. We can never give a specific identity for the source of the force or the power, this evil face that's doing it. All we left with is Baphomet pictures and hand symbols and lizard men mythologies. But I'm here today to tell you that the grand deception is not rooted in spookism and lizard men mythologies. Those people in power are cold-hearted people that are driven by greed and green, and understand that they know the art of war, and it is to be so subtle that you are invisible. See, the people at the bottom don't know who to attack, so we attack each other because we've been seeded propaganda that have taught us how to behave for centuries. We don't realize that we're being controlled because our ego has blinded us. We hate one another for the color of our skins, and we have strong history to justify those hates. But the history that we've been given has been distorted to seed that hate. And if you knew the truth, you would look at your reality different, my brothers and sisters. So understand the quote from Sun Tzu. It is to be so mysterious that you are intangible. We cannot touch the Illuminati. In fact, the very word Illuminati means illuminated ones, but it also is rooted in hidden ones, or those ones that are secretive, meaning you can't touch them, the untouchables. You know, the ones that are controlling the masses on puppet strings, but they are yet invisible. They are everywhere but nowhere. This is the illusion of the Illuminati that we get, the same illusion of the Maya. We paint them in this mythological great light. Even though it's so-called evil light, we don't understand how we glorify them by not understanding the art art of war. So what's going on is that this group of people is so mysterious that they are intangible. We speak of them in deified ways. We speak of the Illuminati synonymous with Satan in the Bible. No one can touch Satan, no one can feel him, but yet we say he controls all the evil that we see around us. And that's the same manner that we speak of the Illuminati and all of these people, which indeed are real people. Don't get me wrong, brothers and sisters. These groups really exist and they indeed rule over humanity. What I'm saying is that they have seeded propaganda for the masses to come to interpret that rule and interpret that power, let's say to associate that power with reptilian people, with fifth dimensional powers or mythological abilities, you know, for lack of better words. We deify these power groups when really they are just regular men who bleed just like you, ladies and gentlemen. They just understand something that you don't. And the knowledge that they have, I try to give back to you guys on this channel. And so part of that is understanding the grand deception that these guys are so mysterious, so subtle that they are invisible. They are using the art of war. They are so mysterious that they are intangible. This is how they control our fate. And it's all done with information. All control starts in the mind. This is why they don't have to shoot any bullets or result to massive violence. We actually perpetuate our own slavery based on the propaganda that we inject from the deceivers. See, we've been taught by the very people who rule us since we were born. Our parents were taught by these people. And the refusal to discard all of the information and start anew is what keeps us bound. Because until we do that, we will never understand how they are ruling over us. And part of that is the art of war, and that is not magical powers. If you understood this ancient knowledge, you will understand the grand deception. The rule of as above, so below is always in effect, and all ancient sciences is rooted in cosmology. Everything they're teaching us in the schools is baloney. If you believe any of it without questioning it, then that makes you a reprobate. See, you got to understand that there's an end to their knowledge. You receive a degree, the knowledge stops, and they say you have mastered it. The true scientist knows that knowledge is an ongoing quest that never ends. So how do they put an end to your ongoing quest? By blocking it with theories and a bunch of religious ideologies and concepts that divides humanity, creates a bunch of wars around the world, and mislead the children, and this further perpetuate this cycle of ignorance. And what happens is we have a distorted view of history, which creates a distorted future. So as I stated in previous videos, there's a skip in the record because the cosmology is being controlled by deceivers and manipulators who understand the art of war and also who understand the cosmological science of control. As above, so below. It all starts in the cosmology. That's why when you say the word domination, the root word of it is dome, because the original dominator was the one who sits above the dome. So when you talk about rulership, the words that we use to refer to that rulership is tied up into the cosmology. So whoever controls the cosmology can dominate based on what people think is the reality under that dome, because we are under a dome, okay? And whoever controls the ideas under that dome is the God, in this case NASA and the Vatican. So people, this as above so below really goes deep when you got the truth and you're dealing with ancient cosmology, because like I said, whoever controls the thoughts under that dome is the dominator. And so it's symbolic because whoever controls the minds of the masses is the dominator, and your head is called a dome. So whoever controls what everybody think up under that dome, being the firmament, controls the world. That's symbolic because in order to do that, they got to actually control what's under your dome. So as above, so below. If they control the dome, they control the dome. They can put themselves in the place of God based on you believing in their theories or their theos, which means God.